Hi everyone, Hugo here, one of the co-hosts of the show. What you're about to watch is a highlight from one of our most recent episodes. To get access to the full version, receive 2 exclusive episodes a month, get every episode 1 week early, and help us stay as independent as possible, support us on Patreon through the link below. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
That segues nicely into talking about the wild world of the Magic secondary market. So can you give the listeners at home, and poor bewildered Ugopnik here, a little crash course on Magic the Gathering finance?
Ooh,
Yeah, like
okay.
what the like when you started saying like the card is $100, I still haven't had a breather to comment on that. What the
Yeah.
so, what?
Ugopnik
What?
wanted to play, and now he's like, wait.
I was like, oh, this universe sounds amazing. Oh, this goblin looks extremely interesting. Oh, yeah, $300 for that particular goblin, please. Like, all games are commodified because all games have become products, blah, blah, blah. Cliche. But
Yep.
you guys are like extra because not just the game has a price tag, all the fucking characters in it have an even crazier price tag. So.
I never want a conversation about Magic the Gathering finance to begin any other way than hearing a distant, what the fuck? Yeah! I never want it to begin another way. That's the perfect response.
Yeah.
So, you go, baby. $200 for cardboard. That's a lot of moolah, right? Incorrect. That's haven't even touched the sides of the fucking pot in which the frog is boiling, comrade. Magic the Gathering cards, individual Magic the Gathering cards, can fetch thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, like, we're not even necessarily just talking about the ones that were printed like many years ago that have this sort of like mystical appeal to them, or the like the one of a kind collectibles, like the One Ring that was printed in the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering tie-in product. They printed a single copy of the One Ring, which is in full foil. It was one of a kind. It was printed in like the language was I can't remember if it was dark speech or Elvish.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but it was printed in Tolkien's language. And there was one in the entire world, and someone got it and they sold it to fucking Post Malone, and Post Malone paid $2.1 million or something like that. And you know what? Good for the fucking person who pulled it.
Yeah.
They have a retirement now. I ain't gonna secure the bag, motherfucker. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna
And
fucking
it's a
sniff at that.
fun-ish story, yeah, but it's a rare one
for sure.
that goes that way,
Yeah, exactly. But, and so like, just, we'll get onto this in a little bit, but just circling back to the whole, market leading the conversation, Wizards, like, were saying about how Lord of the Rings was the best-selling Magic the Gathering set of all time, except for one other product. This shows that we should continue doing Universes Beyond. And it's like, well, sure, it might have also had something to do with the fact that there existed a My Life is Fixed Now card in one of the booster boxes. That might have something to do with it, don't you think?
No.
I digress, though. I digress. Like,
Third, just interesting caveat there. So this was the rarest card, but the guy made 2 millis or 2.5 millis for himself. He resold it. The corporation didn't see a cent of those 2.5 million, right? But yes, they sold a lot because everybody was chasing to get the
Lottery ticket. Yeah.
the lottery ticket,
100%.
basically. Yeah, they literally gamified the game by turning it more into a fucking casino. Why is everything loot boxes? I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Magic
continue.
is the original loot box, my
Holy
friends.
shit.
I don't know what to tell you. Fucking, of all the games I could have decided to play and then become a communist playing. Anyway, but like that's the thing as well. Like, sure, Wizards of the Coast didn't see any of the like 2 point whatever million, but like they didn't need to. They put like several slices of cardboard in a little bit of foil and put it in a box and made so much more money doing that. It's not like they're selling gold bullion or anything. They're selling like tree shavings and making a killing doing it. But people will like purchase these cards for like speculative purposes. Some cards get very expensive because they are very powerful. So for example, again, going back to Mana Crypt, it's still a $100 card because it's still a powerful card. It still sees play in a bunch of different formats. Commander is just like one of the formats that you can't play it in anymore. It still sees play in Legacy and Vintage, which are where you're playing with all the most powerful Magic the Gathering cards. And people will buy these cards either to play with them or to speculate. Where, if I buy this now, it will. I imagine loads of people are buying Mana Crypts right now with the hope that it will get unbanned in the future and the price will go up, and so they can resell it and make a tidy profit doing so. I remember there was a story of there's a card called Lotus Petal, which for no mana, you play it, you can tap it and sacrifice it. It gives you 1 mana of any color. It's quite good in eggs decks, which are all about playing lots of cheap artifacts, sacrificing them, bringing them all back, gaining value like that. But someone, I think this was back in, God, I can't remember when this story happened, but it was probably over a decade ago now. Someone tried to spike the price of it. Lotus Petals were like $4. They bought as many as they could. They spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars buying all the Lotus Petals they could, trying to spike the price of that. And after about 6 months, the price had stayed pretty much exactly level. Like, this person had probably hundreds, if not thousands of copies of Lotus Petal, but nothing had really happened. And it was kind of presented as this cautionary tale of, hey, don't treat Magic like a stock market, treat Magic like a game. Lotus Petals are now $25. If that person held on to that, they have made like a 5 times profit on doing that. And pretty much every single card, especially the ones that were printed a while ago that don't get reprints very often, either because Wizards just chooses not to do it or because they're on something called the reserved list, which was a very early thing Wizards instigated to appease collectors. They they came out early on and said, hey, by the way, we see that you like playing with these cards. We're going to release a product reprinting them. And then loads of collectors went, cool, if you do that, we will take you to court for devaluing our assets, effectively. And Wizards went, oh, okay, yeah, sure. How about this? We will do reprints because otherwise the game will collapse. But what if we give you a list of these cards will never get a reprint? And that's called the reserve list. And some of the most powerful cards are on there. And as a result, collectors very happily can buy a card on the reserve list and know that so long as capitalism still exists and so long as Magic the Gathering still is a game, that price will only keep going up. But also there are many powerful cards that don't get reprinted because, you know, to reprint them in a standard set would ruin that entire season for a bunch of players, or reprinting it in X, Y, and Z would mean that loads of collectors would scalp the product, would buy it en masse with all the money that they've generated from collecting their old Magic cards and then hold them at ransom for the rest of the Magic community and make a tidy profit. It's a mini Wall Street, and that's very sad to see. But it's also not just big collectors. It's not just people who have game stores whose like entire livelihood comes from buying and selling Magic product at a profit. But also, as I sort of like alluded to earlier, you have this sort of petit bourgeois aspirational perspective where, oh, I've opened this card. Oh, this card is worth more than the pack, worth more than what I paid for the pack. I've made a profit here. I will keep this card and watch it appreciate in value. And suddenly you've got, an entire fan base of people who first and foremost view this game as as asset collection. Even if they don't actively do that, if you ever want to get into the game and you want to trade cards with someone, guaranteed the first thing that will happen when you go, I don't know, oh, I've got this Unctus Grand Metal Attack, and I see that you've got this Rhystic Study. Do you want to do a swap? They're both rare cards. The person you're trying to trade with will immediately open a website or an app on their phone, which will tell them the exact price of both cards, and they'll be like, can you give me $14 worth more of Magic cards for me to make this trade valuable? And again, that I've fully stopped doing that because I have enough Magic cards. I don't need any more Magic cards. Also, I can pass them off as business expenses. Yeah, I think I can. I haven't been audited yet, and if I suddenly stop making videos, I could not pass them off as business expenses. But seeing people I give my trade folder to people and they take out a couple of cards and go, oh, I really want this for my deck. What do you want for it? And I go, oh, just have them. And I go, oh, do you want money? It's no, just fucking have the card. They're just gathering dust in a trades binder. Yeah. I would much prefer they were used in someone's deck than just what? I'm not a fucking landlord, mate. Have my cardboard. I don't care. And seeing people look at me like I am a threat and a danger for doing that. And or even just be oh, do you want this card? I want that card. That card's only 40 cents. This card's worth $2. It's It's fine. Like
Yeah.
if you feel really bad about it, go fucking buy me a lemonade. I don't care. Just here, have the cardboard. Like,
But it's
trying
crazy how
to-
you are the crazy one. You are the strange one for not treating a beautiful universe and a beautiful game as a financial mechanism, as a financial tool. Like, you're the weird one, even though, my dude, you are calling a card an asset, my bro. Like, what the fuck?
No,
dude?
100%. It's sad. Like I've said it before, but the only thing a Magic the Gathering trade binder should be a portfolio of is an art portfolio. That's it. Not a fucking property one, mon frere. So like that's the root of the financialization of Magic the Gathering, and I implore anyone listening to this who does play Magic or does want to get into it to really try and like actively fight against that, because it's almost like we live in a pervasive structure that infects everything that we do and love, or something like that. Oy, oy, oy. But it's very difficult. And it's very. God, I hate.
bro, that was deep, bro. But like, can you still sell it to me for $50, bro?
That's a pretty convincing argument. I still take Venmo though.
Thank you for watching. To gain access to the full episode, receive 2 exclusive episodes a month, get every episode 1 week early, and help us stay as independent as possible, support us on Patreon through the link below.